Last time we reviewed all the card families with support abilities for each faction. The link to the video is here. From the last review, we know there are 19 support abilities in total. This video we will order the review by highest total cards in a support ability to lowest. This time we will review each support ability and answer 5 questions. Which factions are the support abilities distributed in? How many cards are in the factions? What's the cost range for the support ability from hand? Which faction is the support ability best used? The best card and its use scenario. The link to download the spreadsheet used for this video is in the description. Let's start with the highest at 15. Target character with hand cost or less, 3 or less, gain anchored. They are distributed in Axiom, Bravos, Lyra, Mona, and Izmir. The only faction it is not distributed in is Orders, with 8 in Mona. The hand cost is as such 11 cards are 3 hand costs or less itself, with 4 that has more than 4 cards, which means you can't play on the first day. The known use for anchored support ability is in Mona decks, especially Mona Caregiver and Mona Druid are typically run as the must-haves for Mona decks. Next, we will move on to the next card you play this turn costs 1 less. It is available in Axiom, Bravos, Lyra, Mona, Izmir. Funny enough, it is again not available in Orders. The curve is quite low. 9 of the cards families are actually 3 or less, which means you can play that on the first day, and 3 can't be played on the first day because they are 4 hand cost from. They are all rare though. The best known use is Martingale, common, 1 farm ladder. You basically play her, or if it's Fern, she can be in reserve from Fern's ability, and most commonly you would just discard her, activate support ability, and play something with higher value from hand. Next, we have the next character you play this turn gains 1 boost in 9 card families. They are distributed in Bravos, Mona, and Orders. So half of the factions has access to it. The support ability is distributed in the curve 8, 3 cost or less, which means you can get it to the next first day 1. Kappa or the Bravo rare at 4 hand cost. The best known use is of course Bravos, especially heroes like Basara. She gets, if her character gets 1 boost, she can opt in to give additional boost to that boost to the character that has gained a boost. The most commonly used is Isubushi. He is always, I've reviewed so many decks, he's always a must include in the Bravo decks. He's 1 cost, you play him and get to the he has only 1 stat though, so he's not like 1/1. The only best value is, you discard him and activate support ability to give that boost to somebody else. Next, we have the next spell you play this turn costs 1 less at 6 card families. It's distributed in Lyra and Izmir only. The curve is only 3 of them are actually can be played on the first day. The other 3 can only be played on day 2 or some other ways to get to reserve. The most commonly used, I think, is Flamel. So Flamel, the main ability is if you play it from hand, it can bounce a spell back into your hand, and once it's in reserve, it's most likely not to be played as a unit anymore. It is going to be discarded to activate support ability to give the next spell a discount. Moving on to next one. Exhaust target card in reserve at 6. Distributed in Axiom, Lara, Orders, Izmir, where Izmir has 3 and every other has only 1. The curve is they're all 2 hand cost or less, so they're relatively really cheap. You can play it on the first day and always have it in reserve to threaten the opponent. To note, it is very strong if you couple it with the landmark that creates a moth, and that moth is the moth landmark within tree is available in Izmir and Axiom, and it's very strong. Next up, we have at 5 create an orders recruit 111 soldier token in target expedition, available in Lara, Orders, Izmir, 3 in Orders. We know Orders recruit is originally from Orders. Card family, in terms of the curve, they're all less than 2 hand cost, and 2 are common. The only real situation I've seen people using it is the paper hero common one from Orders. That's the common one. I have hardly seen anybody prioritize the support ability over the big stats that's also available in Orders, because most of the Orders units are 111 or 222. They don't have like Lara 330. Next, we have activate the everywhere support ability of target permanently controlled. 5, 3 in Axiom, 2 in Orders. The 3 in Axiom, I've seen audible decks run all 3 copies of them. As for the Orders, I haven't seen anybody running this support ability. Next, we have target character you control with hand cost 4 or less gain sleep at 4. 2 Mona, 2 Orders. They're basically from 2 card families. They're just crossed over between Mona and Orders. They're all 3 hand cost or less, which means you can get to the first day and be reserved for use. Maybe I say, because this is relatively new trial by Frost, there hasn't been much competitive scene leveraging this support ability, but my guess is it's to couple with because it is target character you control, instead of you can't really sleep the opponent as a countermeasure for you to advance on the day. So there is a card that benefits from this is when I gain a sleep, I gain anchored. Maybe it is intended for that. Next, we have the next permanent you play this turn costs 1 less, available in Orders and Axiom. 2 available in Axiom. The most commonly we know is Foundry Mechanic at 1 cost. So you play him on the first couple of days even, and get to the reserve, and it can bring down the cost. So basically on day 3 you can play Brass Up Hive Rare, and that's a big payoff for Oddball. And Frog Prince, I haven't seen people playing that, but Foundry Mechanic Rare is almost very meta card right now. It is to bring down the Orders Special Monolith 1 turn early. Next, we have resupply at 3. They are crossed in Axiom and Lara. They are all 3 hand cost or less. Because they are all Lara region, so they all have like a 0 stat between them. To say people play for stats value, I say The only chance is in Lara maybe, but because they're all rare, you really have to think about whether it's worth it. The only actual thing before Bravo Bastion was banned in Axiom was there was always this one copy run in char stack that's resupply. Basically, it gets the card into reserve and resupply that adds a counter. That's probably the only situation I've seen this resupply being used. Next, we have draw a card, add 3 to 1 orders to Izmir. The only common is in orders is took. They're all 6 from hand. I have not seen anybody running it at all. Maybe if you get like a unique that has a draw card support ability, that can't really be good, but at 6 hand cost, the game's almost over. Next, we have Exhausted Resupply, Bravo and Lara 1/1. So it is basically the same card, the Snowman rare, and it's 2 from hand. Because triggering this support ability is not a full action, so you still have to play something, and you exhaust resupply, and you can't play what's resupplied. I haven't yet to see someone utilizing this to win a game. Next, we have target character loses fleeting, Axiom and Bravo. It is Bravo Rescuer. For Bravo, the common one also has the support ability, so I guess you could run it. For Axiom, I don't see how people would run it. Next up, we have return on other card from your reserve to hand, Lyra 1 and Izmir 1. So we know Father is almost a must run in the common Father is the must run in Lyra because it gives you, so it's 2 from hand and 3 from reserve. So you wouldn't play from reserve, you would just activate the support ability to bounce a card back to your hand. And it's not just a spell, it's actually any another card from reserve. As for Izmir, I think I've seen people running 1 off, but definitely not worth it for a full copy. Next, we have After You, 1 in Lara and 1 for Izmir, and they're all from the person called Alice. So we know After You is the hero ability, a hero in Izmir, can't remember her name now. And basically this support ability counts as a full action. So basically you can just say, okay, I don't want to play, I'm just going to discard Alice. And this is the only support ability that counts as a full action. So I've seen people run 1 or 2 copies of Alice common in Izmir, but I've also seen people running 1 copy of Alice rare in Lyra deck for firm, but I haven't really tried it myself. I don't know the value of that. So as for the last 4, we have the next spell you play this turn loses fleeting at 1. The next character you play this turn gains 2 boost at 1. The next character you play this turn loses fleeting 1, and the next character you play this turn costs 1 less. 1 in Izmir and the rest of them in Bravos. I've just kind of grouped them together. The next character you play this turn gains 2 boost, Atlas and Rhea. Probably not worth it for the support ability, but for other users maybe. At 5 hand cost, Aurora, Savia, Asgard. They're all rare. One thing to notice is they're all rare. And Lady of Lakes, funny enough, I don't even know if it's a design deliberation or it's a typo. One of them is the next character you play this turn loses fleeting, and the next spell you play this turn loses fleeting. And one in Izmir, which kind of makes sense, and the other one's in Bravo. They are probably the least played of all support abilities.